All right. Welcome back. Day two, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody supporting, okay? So, like I told y'all, we deal with the heavy questions in here. In this course, we deal with heavy topics. We talk about things like who and what is God? If you think about it, that's literally the most important question of humanity. I can't think of a question that trumps that. Who and what is God? Now, I'm not able to definitively answer that, right? Nobody can. But based off of research and understanding nature, looking around, in a multitude of other sources, we able to get a perspective of what God might be. Okay? This is what happens when you put in a lot of work. You start figuring things out. You start looking at the world. You start understanding. So today I'm going to share a perspective with y'all about that. I'm going to share a perspective of what God may be based on some information from a clairvoyant. All right. A lot of times people ask me where I get my information from. I get my information from a multitude of sources. Most of it is based on the research I do from archaeological studies, from historical studies, things of this nature. But then sometimes, listen, I'm a part of forums and groups. And sometimes you come across information from another person. And in one time in particular, I came across some information from a clairvoyant individual who was in contact with a higher dimensional being. And this higher dimensional being, basically gave up some information about the concept of God. I'll say that. The concept of God, okay? So we're going to talk about that. And the reason why we have to talk about this today, because in order for me to teach you that the Anunnaki came from another planet to our planet and genetically altered us, and they became what we consider God, in order for me to explain that to you, I got to go all the way back and explain how that can be possible, okay? So this is what you signed up for. You don't sign up for the simple shit. You sign up for the complexity. That's what this course is about, complexity, all right? So in this course, we deal with heavy topics like who and what is God, but we also deal with humanity's true history, our real story. Because although we all like living, I don't think we all like the society that we live in. Is that a fair statement? Right? I hate this society. This society is racist, hateful, insane, okay? So, I love living, but I hate the society. If you had a choice to live on some spacious land with fruit trees, vegetable gardens, your own source of water, and the only work you had to do is to work to gather your food and to build shelter, versus a life where you have to work for someone to pay never-ending bills, which means you literally have to work till you die. That's how it is for us now, guys. Ain't no more retirement for us. We got to work till we die. These bills don't ever end, okay? So you literally have to work till you die, or you have to make a massive amount of money so that you don't do so, okay? This is the way society is structured now. So in that life, you gotta pay these never-ending bills. You got to work till you die. You got to deal with racism. On top of all that, you got to deal with the poison food supply. Remember, they putting out GMO foods on us. They putting clone meat on us. They putting all kind of shit on us that we ain't got no say-so in. No control. Think about this. This is how we are living, right? It's an angry, insane society. So let me ask y'all something. If you had the choice, which one of them societies are you choosing to live in? The one with the spacious land with the fruit trees, or the society that we live in now, the one where you have to work to death, where you have to make money till you die to pay these bills, okay? You going with the first one or the second one? You going with the first one or the second one? The first one is the land. The second one is to pay bills till you die. Automatically. Automatically. So off top, we know we not choosing this shit. So what is this shit? We cannot say, hey man, we in paradise. We can't say that. We ain't in no fucking paradise. This shit's horrible right now. Like, I love living. I don't like the society I live in. Right? So something is wrong, guys. Something is going wrong. We got to get to the bottom of it. We got to get to the bottom of it. How did we get in this situation? That's the question. And see, when I ask that question, I'm not talking about, hey man, we got enslaved. That's a simple answer. We got enslaved. No, it's bigger than that. See, that's what you sign up to this course for. Not for the, we got enslaved. No, you sign up for the bigger reason. Like, why even were we in a position to be enslaved? You understand? So this is kind of what we're going to explore. We're going to go back to the nitty gritty. We're going to get to the ground floor on why do they hate us? What is the energy that exists that resents us so much that we got to deal with so much in this country? So how did we get in this situation? In that question lies the reason I built the course, to get to the bottom of it. I aim to show you the lies that you have been told, the false deities and the rituals you partake in without knowledge. That's another thing. A lot of this shit that y'all participating in through religion, man, you don't have no clue of what you participate in. Easter, Christmas. You gonna learn though. You've been hearing, I'm sure y'all been hearing throughout your life, you've been hearing people say, I don't celebrate them paganistic holidays. You've been hearing folks say that, right? Well, I'm gonna show y'all the origins of these holidays, where they come from, the true origin, the Babylonian origin, the Greek origin, the Roman origin. I'm going to show them to you where this shit come from. Because it ain't ours. We didn't build this stuff, black people. We didn't build this stuff. So I aim to show you the lies that you have been told, the false deities and the rituals that you partake in without knowledge. I want to show you who the God of the Bible is and who's the God of the universe. It's a huge difference. Huge difference. That's what we here for. That's what we here for. All right? Because if you think the God that's in the Bible is the God of the universe, you are wrong. You are wrong. That is not the God of the universe. That is just the person you call God. Gadriel. That is just a person you call God. That is not the God of the universe. He's not even a creator of the universe at all. Okay? You've been worshiping a man. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that you've been worshiping an advanced man. That's all it is. Okay? One is perceived to be the creator. The other is the actual creator. So God is real. That's what I want y'all to know. Don't think for not 1 second that my course is about atheism, like not believing in God. Hell no. I'm a soldier for God. I'm on the front lines. But I serve the real God. I don't serve Amen Ra. You will never hear me pray and say Amen, because I know what Amen is. Somebody that pray and they say Amen at the end, they don't know. God bless their soul. But they don't know what they saying. They don't know. They don't know who they giving their energy up to. But you're going to learn. You're going to learn. The toughest part of my course is realizing you live in one big charade. Someone or something has crafted an artificial system for us to live in that keeps us trapped in a low vibrational state, rendering us unable to ascend. The good thing for us, their time is up. That time has ended. The veil has been lifted. We are being prepared for ascension right now, whether you know it or not. Whether you know it or not. We have entered the age of Aquarius. We are in the golden ages now, okay? So this is going to be a time of, first we got to go through a time of tribulation. We got to go through a time of turmoil and tribulation. But out of that going to come the 1,000 years of peace and happiness. Okay? And that 1,000 years of peace and happiness is not going to be this old world. It's going to be in the new world. Because if y'all don't know, the world is splitting. The world is not just physical. It's also spiritual. Okay? So the world is splitting into two, into the new earth and the old earth. Those who ascend into the new earth going to experience the 1,000 years of happiness and joy. Those who are left in the old earth will continue in this turmoil. Just what we was talking about. Remember when we said, don't nobody want to live in this society? We'll rather take the land with the fruit trees, right, than to stay in this shit. Well, if you don't activate and you're not able to activate your chakras and ascend, you gonna be stuck here with all of them people. I'm gone. I don't know about y'all, but I'm out of here. I already know. That's why I'm putting in my work right now. That's why I'm making my sacrifice right now. It's a lot going on in the world, man. The world ain't simple no more. Okay? So if you see the world through simple eyes, then again, this ain't the space or time for you. And things are not simple no more. Things are moving very fast. The earth was just recently blasted with solar waves. Y'all know about that? Y'all know we just got hit with a huge solar flare burst? They don't teach y'all what that's really about. You think all of that energy came through the earth for no reason? You think that just happened? Huh? You think that just happened? No, man, that was a purpose. It's divine purpose with that. It was time. It just so happened to happen at this period that we call the age of Aquarius. Those solar flares that was bombarding the earth are helping to start the process of our ascension. Okay? We are living in the most amazing time. The most spectacular events are yet to come. We're living in the most amazing time, bro. Okay? I was just talking to y'all the other day. About how I was feeling like I couldn't move. I just felt bogged down. Right? It was due to the solar energy. It was the solar activity. Communicating with the soul, communicating with the light body. So don't think it's all doom and gloom for us. It ain't all doom and gloom. This is why I'm here. My job is to upgrade your mindset through an upgrade in truth. They releasing this truth right now for the people that's supposed to get it. So whether you getting it from me or you getting it from another brother, if you're getting the truth, then you are meant to get it. You are a part of this ascension plan. And as they say, the truth will set you free. In order to understand how we get here, we have to go all the way back to our beginning. The only record that we have of this beginning is these Sumerian tablets. All right, sorry about that. Green screen issues. Okay. So, in order to understand how we get here today, we have to go all the way back to our beginnings. The only record we have of that is these Sumerian tablets. So let me be clear, guys. If this is not the record of our beginnings, then what is? Because we already surmised that the biblical story we were given did not add up. Y'all remember yesterday? Y'all remember what we talked about yesterday? All the inconsistencies with the biblical story, right? Like how we supposed to believe the Bible when you got the most powerful religious institution, okay, in the world, which is the Vatican, telling us that God is a white man. Y'all know about the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican? This is Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. Put a 1 in the chat if you're familiar with this world-renowned painting. This is Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. This is a rendition of God reaching out to man. So this is the Vatican telling you that God is white and that the first man is white. Right? Think about that. The most powerful religious institution in the land. They telling you that God is white and that the first man is white. And they ain't stopped there. Right? They didn't stop there. They also told you his son was white. Right? They ain't stopped there. I also told you his son was white too, right? So think about this, right? So if the religious institutions is telling you that these people, the foundational people of this biblical story is all white, what does that leave us? What that Bible said about us? We exist as a result of a curse. The curse of Ham. That's how we get here. You mean tell me this beautiful brown skin is a curse? You mean to tell me the skin that absorbs sunlight and can turn it into energy and sustenance? You mean to tell me this a curse? You shit me. Curse my ass. Somebody lied. Okay? So, if the biblical story does not add up to what we see and what we know somebody been lying. We missing some information. Something's going on. Right? You got, on top of that, watch this. You got white folks telling you that God, the first man, first woman, come on, look at Adam and Eve. Huh? Look at Eve, old out of shape ass. Sloppy as hell. How Eve get that fat if she wasn't eating nothing but fruits and vegetables? Hell no. It look like a McDonald's body. That look like a hot Cheeto body, a hot Taki body. Hell nah. Eve, you got to get in the gym, baby. You got to get in the gym. Go ahead on with that business, man. So come on now. Now, and they done told y'all, let me take this down before they cause a problem for me. And they done told y'all that them two people was the first people. Now, if you got any sense, you know that the biblical story originates in Africa. Okay? Don't keep letting these people tell y'all the Middle East. Ain't no such thing as the Middle East. That's all Africa. They created that term, the Middle East, in like the 80s. That's all Africa. There's no body of water that's separating that landmass from Africa. It's connected to Africa. You can walk from Africa into that part of the land. No problem. So, the biblical story is African. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If God white and the first two people was white, and Africa hot as hell, ain't got nothing but some sun over there, how them folks survive? How them first two people survive? And that hot ass sun. But furthermore, We have no record of an indigenous white tribe hailing from Africa and nowhere in Africa. We have no record at all of an indigenous white tribe. Have you ever heard of an indigenous white tribe in Africa? Huh? Y'all tell me, put me up on game. Have you ever heard of an indigenous white tribe in Africa? Me either. So guess what? The story that control, now think about this. That biblical story dominates the globe. You got folks from one side of the world, from China, all the way over to this side of the world that believe in that biblical story. And they believe in a white God, and they believe in a white Jesus, and they believe in a white Adam and Eve. So if people see the first original people as white, and they see us as a curse, can't you see how that affects the way people treat us? How people look down on us? Somebody changed that and made that be. That's not the true story. That's why I be telling y'all, don't be so quick to hold on to that Bible, man. Y'all be holding that damn Bible so close to your soul as if it can't be doctored. As if it can't be doctored. You done convinced yourself that this is some magical book of God that has never been doctored. Well, you'll be a lie. It's been severely doctored. Oh, in so many ways, you're not even ready. You're not even ready to understand how many ways that book been doctored. Okay, all right. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why we got 2 restrictions. I don't know what we got 2 restrictions for. But what they say, live visibility? Oh, they say somebody underage. If you ain't 18 or older, if you not 18 or older, please leave my live. We can't have no children in here. You got me getting restricted. Somebody in here with on a child account. If you own your daughter account, your son account, you got to get out of here. You got my room hot. We had this happen before. Somebody was using a son account. All right. You got to be 18 in the grown folks conversation. You got to be 18 years or older to be in here. Got my room hot. Okay, so they selling y'all this story. They selling y'all this idea of them being the original people. You know who the original people is. You know. How they the original people? If you're going to be the original people, you're going to be more powerful than everybody else. You're going to be stronger than everybody else. You're going to be faster than everybody else. You're going to be able to jump higher than everybody else. Who that is? Who that is? I don't know. Y'all tell me. Who jumped the highest out of all the races? Who jumps the highest? Who runs the fastest? Who's the most fierce in combat? You know what I'm saying? You talking one-on-one. One-on-one combat. You know don't nobody want to see us. You don't want to see us. If you take our strongest male and you put our strongest male against any other group's strongest male, we coming out on top every time. Every time. Give us our strongest versus your strongest, we coming out on top every time. So you can't say you the original people if we possess all this power. You can't say that. And this is where the hate lies at. The difference that makes us us. See, all of this greatness that makes us us is what creates the jealousy in them. Okay? So like I say, guys, we got to get to the truth. We got to get to the bottom of the truth, because our people, don't think for 1 minute that I'm doing this for a hobby. I'm not doing this for fun. I swear to God on my life. I ain't doing this for no money. Guess what? Our people severely need to be upgraded in mindset. We are mind fucked. This is why we are suffering as a people. We lack the knowledge. We lack the understanding. We've been trained to think Somebody has programmed information into us. None of this information is natural. It's all been programmed into us. I just want y'all to understand. I want you to understand your situation in this country versus everybody else. Because it looks like black people trying to fit in. It looks like we just trying to be accepted. We want to be able to do all the things that white folks are able to do. But we can't. We can't, because this ain't our system that we live in. We living in somebody else's system. This is our land, but their system. Do you understand? Put a 1 in the chat if you understand what I just said. This is our land. This is their system. See, in this class, you're going to learn that the black man was in America before any man. It's another thing you're going to learn. I'm some big bombshells, ain't it? You're going to get a perspective on what God possibly is. You're going to learn that the black man was in America first. You're going to see how the black man came to be the first man. You're going to get some shit up in this course. We together for 4 months, gang. This don't happen overnight. It's every day. It's a college course. Every day we taking a step towards building this truth, okay? Right now we are in the conditioning phase. This introductory information is to condition your mind for what's to come. Okay? So we can't be walking around, man. We got to stop this. We got to listen. I understand. Listen, we love grandmama and granddaddy so much that we don't want to disrespect grandmama and granddaddy by not embracing the Bible the way they want us to. See, that's what then got us in trouble. But you got to remember that grandmama and granddaddy, as much as we love them, they have no knowledge of the world outside of their home. Grandmama and granddaddy don't research the ancient past. Grandmama and granddaddy they don't research ancient cultures. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Did your grandmama and your granddaddy do research on ancient Africa or ancient Rome or ancient Greece or ancient Babylon? Did your grandmama and granddaddy do any research on the Indus Valley civilization? Huh? Have they ever read the Mahabharata? Have they ever read the Vedas? Thank you. You know who else ain't never read none of that shit? You know who else ain't never studied none of it? Your preacher. Your pastor. The one that's sitting up there sucking up all the money out the goddamn community. See, you know why I don't like them preachers? Because they suck up all the money and spend it on themselves. We out here trying to get our people to donate money so we can spend this shit back on the community. So we can build in the community, because I'm tired of us struggling. I don't want to be balling if my people ain't balling. I want us to be balling together. I want us to be out on a piece of land. I want us to buy a piece of land and go out and build our own freaking communities so we can love on each other, teach each other, help each other. And when the time comes, be ready to fight with each other. But these preachers don't know nothing about the ancient world, man. These preachers can't teach you nothing outside of that theology that they regurgitate. That's all they know, is that theology that they are programmed with. You bring me any preacher, you bring me your best preacher, I will fillet him. I will open that Bible up and I will make him look like a fool. Because they've been lying to y'all, gang. I know y'all ain't read the Bible. Most of the people who said they read the Bible never read it. And even if you call yourself half reading it, you just skim through it, you didn't read it to understand it. There's a big difference in reading it to see it and reading it to understand it. The only way you can understand in the Bible is by studying the ancient past. Let me say that one more time. So when I say you don't understand the Bible, I'm saying that because I know you ain't studied the ancient past. Y'all remember what we talked about yesterday? See, I am developing perspective right now. Remember what I told y'all yesterday about the time of Moses, how that was a primitive time, how Moses didn't have knowledge of the world. He didn't have knowledge of the previous world. He didn't have knowledge of anything outside the small confines of his township where he lived at. Now today, your baby boy or baby girl can tell you all about the dinosaur, the time of the dinosaurs. They can tell you all about the time of the biblical times. They can tell you about what might be coming in the future. Because these kids are born in the information age. They have an unfathomable amount of data being inputted into them every day. So they know shit. You can't fool a person in this generation the way you can fool a person of biblical times. In biblical times, if Moses looks up and he sees a UFO, he thinks, oh, those are the angels. If somebody steps out the UFO in a glowing outfit, he thinks, oh, that's God. Let me bow down. If you seen a UFO today, I'm asking y'all right now, if a UFO came down out the sky and somebody jumped out in a glowing outfit, are we going to bow down and say, I worship you? Or I believe you, God? Because we got better understanding. Because we see in our civilization, we understand what that is. We know about flying mechanism, flying machines, and things of that nature. So we're not going to be easily fooled. Those people were fooled because they didn't have a large database to reference. They didn't know what a UFO was. They didn't know what none of that. So they fell for everything. So what I want you to know is this. When you're walking around here believing in what Moses believed in, when you're walking around here believing in what Abraham believed in, just remember this. You don't live in the same houses that Moses and Abraham lived in. You don't travel in the same mode of transportation that they traveled in. But for some reason, you done upgraded everything else about your life. You done upgraded the type of house you live in, the way you travel. You done upgraded everything except the way they think, the way they see the world. So why are you still seeing the world through their eyes when they didn't have as much knowledge as you got? Shouldn't that behoove you to go back and look at? Shouldn't it behoove you to go back and look at their world and to make sure that you are seeing it in the same fashion? Because if you go back and look at their world, you're going to see, guess what you're going to see? Oh shit, them people ain't know what they were talking about. These were people from another planet. These weren't no goddamn gods. Right? So this is what you're going to see. It's going to be clear as day to you. And then you're going to realize that, damn, I believe everything I believe in because some man from 4,000 years ago believed this. Some man I don't even know. Y'all act like y'all know Moses and Abraham and Isaac and Ishmael. Y'all don't know them folks. You act like you went to middle school with Moses or something. You act like you shot basketball with Abraham or something. You don't know them folks. But you base your whole life around what they believe instead of studying it for yourself. So that's all I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to not blindly believe things. I'm asking you to study the past so you can understand what you believe in, okay? When you tell me you believe in God, you got to tell me what is God. If you can't give me an idea of what God is, I don't even want to hear what you're talking about. And ain't no way none of us can know what God is because ain't none of us ever seen God. Anybody that say that is lying. Nobody never seen God, brother. Today I'm gonna give y'all a perspective of what God might be. Y'all think God is a human. That's humanity doing that. Humanity is creating the perception that God is a man that you can talk to, that you can reason with. I done heard women say, I'm saving myself for God. Girl, God ain't thinking about you. You think God's sitting back, hey, I want her. Like, God ain't no dude that you can take on a date. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about this today because in order to understand all of these other concepts, we got to deal with the perception of God. We looked at a couple scriptures yesterday. Remember I showed y'all that number scripture? Y'all remember when I showed y'all that Numbers, what was that? Numbers 31, 17, 18 or something like that? Numbers 31, 17, 18. Numbers 31, chapter 31, verse 17, 18. When you read that, you got to ask yourself. Now, that's Ephesians 5:50. That's Ephesians. I use these two scriptures to show the discrepancy in this understanding of God, what you think God is. So when we read Numbers, let's read Numbers right quick, and you tell me if this sounds godly to you. In Numbers 31, 17, 18, you got God telling Moses to kill every male among the little ones and unalive every woman that have known a man by lying with him. Unalive every male and unalive every male that have known, unalive every male and every woman that have known a man by lying with him. But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. I'm going to read this one more time. This is God telling Moses, kill every male among the little ones and unalive every woman that have known a man by lying with him. But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. So why would God need to tell Moses to unalive people? Couldn't God have just did that himself? Couldn't God? That sound like somebody giving somebody an order to hit. Okay? So think about this. The same God that gave you the 10 commandments that told you thou shalt not kill is in Numbers 31 instructing Moses to kill. Listen. He is instructing Moses to kill all the little men, all the little boys, all the grown men, and the women that then laid with the grown men. Then he instructs Moses, keep all the little girls for yourself. For what reason? What you think he keeping all the little girls for himself? He tells them, keep all the little women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourself. Why would they need to keep the little girls alive? What they gonna do with them little girls? Huh? Y'all talk to me. This your Bible. This the word of God. You can't run from it. You cannot run from it. Talk to me. Who exactly, what God is this? Because the God that I serve, I know I done spent my whole life trying not to unalive nobody. I done spent my whole life protecting children, protecting men, protecting women, and not wanting to cause no harm. Help me understand, why would God instruct Moses to do this? This is Numbers. Please pick up your Bible and go check it. I don't want y'all to think I'm reading from some false Bible. Numbers 31, 17, 18. Y'all said that this was God. Y'all said that this is the word of God. This is God, right? So whose God is that? Is this your God? The God you serve? Is this the God you serve that condones murder and I can't say it because they'll flag me. RAPE. That's what this scripture is condoning. You can't read it no other way. It's condoning murder and RAPE. Unalive all the little boys. Unalive all the women and the males that they laid with. But keep the little girls for yourself. That's what it say. That's Numbers. That's the word, right? Then you got Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 5 through 9. See, this how you know people ain't read their Bible. Because when I read this shit to people, people be shocked. They be like, I ain't read them. I know you ain't read it. You ain't read none of them. Only ones you know is the ones pastor tell you to look up. Oh, look up John 5:6. And all you know is what pastor told you to look up. You ain't never read that Bible. You ain't never studied that Bible. Because if you get to studying that Bible, you're going to see some stuff in there and it's going to, bing, oh, this God? Now, hold on, wait a minute. Is this God? That God in that Bible need a lot of help. My God that I serve don't need no help. My God don't require help. My God can make anything happen at any time. My God do not require the assistance of man to do his bidding. But whoever that is in that book that y'all call God required on the assistance of man. That's what you need to do. You just accepted it. That's what religion is. Just accept it or you're going to go to hell. You were programmed into it by the people you love. We love mama and daddy. We love mama and daddy with all our heart. They didn't know no better. They was programmed. See, some of y'all are the first in your family to become an intelligent mind, truly. I'm being honest. Some of y'all are the first intelligence in your family. Some of y'all are the first intelligence in your family. And when I say that, I mean, you can only become intelligent when you seek information, when you seek knowledge. I don't give a damn how many degrees you got from a college. That don't mean you're intelligent. If you did not seek information, seek knowledge, if you didn't go out and study various institutions, various civilizations, you ain't intelligent. When you do that, that's when you start teetering on intelligence. Intelligence is the ability to study the Bible and realize it's something missing. Something is not being told. Somebody is lying. That's what I'm going to show you in this class. I use those two scriptures to show that something's not quite right with who they say is God. So just off of those few things we discussed yesterday, we can all agree that we don't have the real truth. This can't be the real truth. Something missing from it. They don't represent us in there. Although the Bible is our history, you need to know that. See, y'all walking around here thinking that the Bible is a spiritual experience. It's a history book. It was your history. The Old Testament is your history. It's the history of melanated people. It's the history of what y'all call black people. It's their history. We the first people. This history is greatly important. Some people stole your history and made it their own history and built a new version of your history. And they gave it to y'all as religion. They sold you your own history as religion, repackaged it, reprocessed it, and gave it to y'all as religion. Your people were enslaved in this land. Your people didn't speak the language. Your people didn't press up books. We didn't print books. We didn't print the Bibles. It kills me how black folks so adamant about defending the Bible as if a black man was the one who was printing these Bibles in this country. I don't remember it. Somebody else was writing this book. Somebody else was changing this book. You need to understand it's a reason. You look around at your world, look around at the world, look how uncomfortable we are as a people, and understand the reason we are uncomfortable is because we lack the knowledge. We lack knowledge. We lack understanding. They cut us off from our history. We don't know who we are. When do y'all understand when you kidnap somebody, if you kidnap a baby from a family and you take the baby across the world, you raise the baby up as your own, that baby will never know it's got a whole other family over here somewhere. That baby might got a billionaire family over here somewhere. That baby will never know because you done cut that baby off from that by taking it away from its original source, right? Same thing that happened to us. We that baby. We living in a family thinking that this is our family. We thinking this society, this is what it's about. Not realizing that we got a whole nother family over here somewhere that we need to tap into, that we need to learn about, because knowledge of self is going to propel us. It's going to make us stronger as a people. We are suffering because we lack knowledge of self. My job is to take down all that they gave y'all, all that they programmed y'all with, and replace it with the truth. The closest I have gotten to what I believe to be the truth is the translations of the lost book of Enki from the Sumerian tablets, which tell the tale of men and women who came from a distant world in search of gold, a mineral that was deficient on their planet. As a result of their gold mining expedition, they ended up tinkering with the genetics of an already evolving species of hominids, and that resulted in us. That's our story. That's our story. That's the story that you don't know. That's a story you've never been told. You need to hear it. Before you judge it, at least hear the story in its entirety. It's going to make perfect sense. All the holes that the biblical theory and the scientific theory left, the Anunnaki theory fills. That detailed story is coming. I just got to condition your mind to embrace that story. So these introductory classes are very necessary. Do y'all remember the scene in The Matrix when Morpheus finally showed Neo the real world? Are y'all familiar with The Matrix? There was a scene in The Matrix where Morpheus finally showed Neo the real world. Right? So the world we living in right now, Morpheus said this is a computer-generated world. When he removed Neo from the computer-generated world and he wanted to show him what the real world was, it was something like this. It was an endless field of humans being bred for fuel use. They was treating humans, these machines were treating the humans like a battery. This was the real world, okay? So we got to go through the same thing. We gotta stop thinking that the world we live in is the real world. There's a world beyond this world. And that's the world that they hiding from you. That's why they hoard the truth. That's why they don't want, that's why they screaming misinformation about everything. They screaming misinformation because they don't want y'all to get to the truth. He explains that you think you live in a computer-generated artificial society, but when you break through the matrix, you see the world for what it really is. That's what happens when you become woke. When you really become woke, you start seeing the world for what it really is. Now you're not gullible no more. Now you're not naive no more. You're not falling for stuff. It's a reason why all these black people is mad at other black people for not wanting to vote Democrat. Because they done figured it out. They done see that the Democrat was finessing. Stop being mad at your brothers and sisters for waking up. Not saying that the Republicans love them, But it was the Democrats that was pretending to love them. Do y'all understand that? See, everybody keep thinking, when folks say, man, I'm not voting Democrat no more, well, you think the Republicans love you? No. What we saying is the Democrats are pretending to love black folks. That's the difference. That's the scary part, when somebody is acting like they love you and they don't at all. So our people are wising up to this stuff. Don't be mad at somebody, man, when they are able to perceive truth. But we discussed a lot yesterday. It was a bit of a cram session. It had to be like that because time is of the essence. I shared with y'all the biblical theory of creation versus the scientific theory. I showed you that both of those theories got major holes in it. But both of those theories of how man came to be just don't add up. Science even admits there's a missing piece to the chain of events. See, folks walking around this motherfucker acting like they know. You ain't never studied evolutionary science. You ain't never studied the perspective of science, science's perspective on the creation of man. Go do that, so you will know. But even science admit that they cannot explain how Homo erectus went from Homo erectus to Homo sapien almost overnight. It's called the missing link. So science is in fact saying that something happened. Listen to what I'm saying. The science that dominates our world, the science that gives us our medicines, the science that gives us our technologies, the same science that dominates our world says that there's a missing part to the story. They say something happened that facilitated Homo erectus becoming Homo sapien almost overnight. Now, if you're a baby brain, you say, oh, that was God. And that's the end of the story. But it's always more to the story than that. You can say it was God. Then you will be just like the primitive early humans that thought the Anunnaki was God. Because that's exactly what happened. In order, I can say the stuff I can say because I got the knowledge, I got the information, but it may sound weird to you, but this is what took place. These Anunnaki interrupted this hominid on its natural evolutionary process. And as a result, it birthed us, what we are, Homo sapien, Homo sapien, sapien. It's only when you entertain the story of the Anunnaki that you see both have some truth, but requires a merging of events to see the full picture. In that merging of events, I created the Anunnaki theory of creation, which shows that evolution was indeed taking place, but was interrupted by these Anunnaki, who in return was worshipped by the beings they altered. Okay? That's what happened. This is what happens when you're dealing with a parent race. Sometimes the created beings or the altered beings turn around and worship the parent race. That's where we get our God concept from. We're going to talk about it. The Anunnaki theory shows that evolution was indeed taking place, but was interrupted by these Anunnaki, who in return was worshipped by these beings they altered. In that worship of the Anunnaki lies the seeds of your biblical story. Your Bible is written from a primitive human's perspective. They saw the Anunnaki as God, so to this day, you still worshiping the Anunnaki as God. The Anunnaki is not God. They are not angels. They are advanced beings. They are smarter than us. They are older than us, but they are not gods. God's story and the Anunnaki story are not the same. Can you imagine trying to tell the history of God? Think about that. You ever thought about that? How old is God? Can you wrap your mind around that? Can you wrap your mind around that concept? How old is God? You can't even fathom that number. You can't even fathom. Can you even imagine what that number would be? Some number we can't even think of, right? How tall is God? We can't even imagine. We can't even imagine. Because see, now, like I say, we're thinking from a human perspective. Because people try to make God human. How old is God? How tall is God? Is God a he? Or is God a she? None of these questions we know for sure, but we can speculate. But sometimes we don't have to speculate because truth always finds a way to reach its destination. Watch this, Black Lex. Check this out, Black Lex. 13.8 billion, the age of our universe, but what about the other universes? That's when your mind blow up. 13.8 billion is our universe, but then what about the multiverse? See what I'm saying? That's what I mean when this shit gets complex. You know, we can talk about we can't even fathom our universe. We have a concept called the known universe, where we can only fathom a portion of the universe. The universe is so big, we can't fathom it. It's unfathomable. So all we can focus on is what they call the known universe. So when I tell y'all, man, that God is so far out of the realm of our understanding, believe that. We don't know what God is. We got to stop acting like that. We're not even on the spiritual level to understand that. Black people be thinking just because they go to church that they spiritual. You got people out here dedicating their life to becoming light bodies. You got people who don't do nothing but meditate all day. You got people who take care of butterflies. You got people who take care of animals that sacrifice themselves to make sure animals can be safe. You got people who do all kind of spiritual things that connect them to the all that is. Going to church don't make you spiritual. You ain't spiritual. The Tibetan monks, the monks in the monasteries, they're spiritual. It's why they can do shit like levitate. It's why they can meditate for months, sometimes years. Them people live in a totally different existence. They are rising up the level of ascension. We way down here. We low vibration. So how the hell would a low vibrational creature think that you should have the knowledge of God? What have you done to deserve the knowledge of God? You around this bitch eating hot Cheetos. You running around here smoking za. You drinking Don Julio. You doing all of this shit and you think you supposed to have the knowledge of God? You got some nerve. You got some nerve. That knowledge is reserved for the higher dimensional beings. You can become a higher dimensional being. You just got to sacrifice this physical life. You got to stop wanting all the physical stuff and start putting some energy into the spiritual stuff. You ain't there. People often ask me, where do I get my info? In which I reply, there's a variety of sources I use, from archaeology to the work of historians, as well as developing my own research. But sometimes I come across people who have clairvoyant abilities, people that are connecting with higher dimensional beings. This information is channeled through these beings and given to us because whether y'all know it or not, we are being transformed. Okay? It's time. So these beings been interacting with certain individuals to make sure this information can get out. Just like I am giving you the truth to upgrade your mindset, higher dimensional beings have been doing the same. They've been trying to raise the mindset of humanity, raise the awareness of humanity, slowly but surely. This information that I will share today comes from a clairvoyant that is in touch with higher dimensional beings. When the contactee was asked, "What is God?" this is the information that was given. Okay? So I'm gonna share this information with y'all. Give me just a second. I don't know what the hell I did. We're going to talk about what God may possibly be, okay? And the reason I say possibly, because I could never tell y'all this for fact. But I'm going to give y'all this in hopes that it will help you understand when we start to talk about other beings in the cosmos, and it give you an idea of this system that we are a part of, okay? Because the system is much greater than us. Much greater than us.
Goes ride, lean. If you ride, old, ride slow, candy, paint, slamming knees, don't. Ride, lean. If you ride, old, ride slow, candy, paint, slamming knees, don't. Ride, lean. If you ride, old, ride slow, candy, paint, slamming knees. If you ride, old, ride slow, ride, slamming knees.
I remember way back in the day, all I wanted was a king. Flex, crushing holes, slamming dough, while the chest is shake. From the soul, up the juice, bitch, I want the bass. Can't be turning on the dime, cause the rim's great. Kill switches, for them jackets, I just trying to take. That's my proposition in recession, kept me straight. Clear my mind, then recline on the one way. From Monday to Sunday, just me and my old school.
Ride slow, candy, paint, slamming knees, don't.
Tap them likes up. The likes free, gang. Tap them likes up.
Ride, lean. If you ride slow, candy, paint, slamming knees, don't. Ride, lean. If you ride slow, candy, paint, slamming knees, don't. Ride slow, slamming knees.
All right. So let's get into we're gonna get into the system of God, all right? This, I have to break this down because like I say, man, when we getting ready to talk about the cosmos, we getting ready to talk about different beings that facilitated the Anunnaki and how the Anunnaki came here. So in order for us to even fathom that, we got to discuss God and what God may particularly be, okay? So like I say, this is some information that was channeled through clairvoyant from a higher dimensional being. And I'm gonna share with y'all what this being channeled. All right. So when the contactee was asked, "What is God?" This is the information that was given. The term God is an earthly concept. A better term to use would be creator or the creative forces. Okay? So they say God is something that we made up. That's an earthly concept. They say a better term would be the creator or creative forces. What we call the beginning is not the beginning of existence. It's just the beginning of creation. So it's a difference, right? So man marks the beginning by the beginning of creation. They say that's not the beginning of time, but they say existence has always existed, right? You got to wrap your mind around these concepts, right? Existence itself may be what we consider God. Because nothing exists without existence. It ain't like God was outside of existence, then he jumped into existence. Existence had to be here first in order for a God to manifest. Do y'all understand that? Right? You got to have something to have. You can't have nothing from, you can't have something from nothing. So existence have to be in place first in order for a God to even exist. So the thing that we call existence, I'm finna talk to y'all about that. Listen up. Existence has always existed, and the energies that permeate existence have always been existent. Okay? So the energy, magnetism, electricity, these energies have always existed with existence. Okay? The energy of existence is what created consciousness. Consciousness is what created matter. Matter became the first beings. Okay, so let me break this down to y'all. So when you discuss God, which entity would you consider God? Existence itself or the energies within existence? No one created existence, fam. It just exists. The human mind has to learn to accept that some things have no beginning or no ending. Think about that. Think about that. Every time we think about something, we think about something having a starting point, right? We always think of something having a starting point and something having an ending point. That's a linear perspective, okay? Come on with it, Sons Lady. I'm getting there, baby. I'm finna get there. Shout out to Sons Lady. It's gonna make sense. I'm saying it's gonna make sense. So when you're talking about existence, it has no beginning. We don't, we have to just accept that science. You're not gonna be able to prove the beginning of existence. You have to just accept it. Okay? Where I'm going? I'm going somewhere. Without existence, we don't exist. So existence, in fact, is the Alpha and the Omega. It is the beginning and it is the end. It is everything. It is all around you. Existence is that's the ether. That's the ether that connects everything. We just didn't know they call it the ether, but that's existence. We just don't know how to quantify it. Like if I ask y'all, like when we say, what is life? What is life? What is it? Right? Yeah, Thoth. Okay, come on with it. Thoth, hey man, if you know who Thoth is, man, you know what time it is then. Okay, that's our light worker. That's the leader of this world. That's who leading us into ascension. Okay, so yeah, Thoth, yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. We finna get there. So existence is the Alpha and Omega, guys. It was there. It was there. And whatever you consider the beginning, it was there. Whatever you're going to consider the end, it's still going to be there. Now, you must remember you have been trained to perceive God in a physical form. Because the baby brain needs something it can conceptualize to make it easier to believe in. See, so your little baby human brain has to conceptualize. You gotta, we can't just believe in energy, right? It's gotta be a man. That's the shit. That's why you got to throw that shit away. Because when you come in here, I'm going to teach you that energy is more powerful than any man. Okay? Energy itself is more powerful than any man. All right? We taking the training wheels off today. Now, the real kicker is when you understand that existence is the ether that's all around us, connecting everything. So when people say that God is all around us, that's what it means. Because that's the thing that's all around you, existence. It's all around you, okay? Existence as a conscious entity manifested the first beings, which were energies. So existence manifested the energies that existed in the beginning. In the beginning, there was two energies, two main energies. So still, really still, it's a lot of different energy sources that have came from these two main forces, but these are still the two most important forces of our world today. Y'all ready? There is the male energy being the electrical force, and there's the feminine energy being the magnetic force. Okay? Existence brought forth the first beings were not physical beings, they were energy sources. So that means that we were light bodies, we were energy sources before we were ever physical sources. See, y'all done heard these stories before. You just couldn't put it together. You done heard people say, oh, we used to be light, we used to be angels and we wanted to come down and experience the physical. Or we used to be light bodies and we wanted to come down and physical and feel like what physical matter felt like. You've heard stuff like this before. But now we're gonna give it the proper authentic setting. Okay? So in the beginning, we had the male represents the electrical force. The feminine represents the magnetic force. Oh, and that makes perfect sense. Because you know how attracted we are to our sisters. Okay? They are magnetic. Okay? They ain't as attracted to us as we are them. Let me make it make sense for y'all. Hold on. Fellas are way more attracted to the ladies than they are to us. When the magnet walks by our head, we can't help but turn. Think about that. If women represents magnetic energy, think about when a good-looking woman walk by you. Can't help but to turn. Ain't that right, brothers? Huh? If a good-looking woman walk by us, man, even when we with somebody, can't help but, it's like that magnet just pulling you. Right? If they tell us, hey man, the club packed, man, it's a lot of beautiful ladies down there. Niggas gonna pile that club out. We gonna haul ass. Wherever them women at, we gonna haul ass to them. You know why? Because they are magnetic. We are attracted to their magnetic energy. They not chasing behind us, we chasing behind them. And it's not that we chasing them, it's their magnetic energy drawing us to them. It's their magnetic. Oh, we finna go somewhere. If you think about it, this makes perfect sense, fellas. We are always more attracted to the ladies than they are to us. It's because we are attracted by her magnetic energy. This is where we get the term attractive from. This is where we get the term attractive. When we say somebody is attractive. Oh, she's attractive. Yeah. Okay, come on now. Come on. It's a source in it. Baby, you a magnet, baby. You a magnet. That's why why do you think women manifest faster? Just look at all the success that you see women having and all the things they have. Women don't be having the same issues that men have. Women easily attract things into their life. Right? What do we say? We say a woman ain't got to work hard. All she got to do is do what? Look good. Let's just keep it real. This ain't no diss. This is the power in a woman. Watch this. Men got to go out here and work our ass off, right? A woman ain't got to do nothing but look good and a billionaire come and change her life and come and swoop up. She could be working at McDonald's. If she cute and she look pretty and she catch his eye, that's all it takes. Woman ain't got to do nothing. She can attract a whole kingdom to her. She can attract a whole kingdom to her. Okay? Yeah, the magnetic power got to be strong. It's got to be strong. This is where we get the term attractive from. The more attractive, the more she can bring forth. Like my boys say, they have the gift of beauty. The more attractive she is, the more she can bring forth her way. This is where that attraction comes from. This is why attraction is always associated with women. You are a magnet. That's a good thing. That's a wonderful thing. So sisters, if you're in alignment, I want y'all to know something. Y'all really need to study the universal laws, because I want my sisters to know, because you are a magnet, you will attract everything that you think about. So if you worry a lot, if you worry about a lot of problems, if you always focusing on the negative, this is what you're going to attract into your life. So if you've been attracting the wrong people, the wrong situations, it's because you are constantly subliminally putting this frequency out. And your frequency is your magnetic waves, and you attracting that shit back into your world. Get in alignment. Be more positive. Think about what you want, not what you don't want. Okay? You're a magnet. Now, us brothers, we are electrical. We are the electrical force. In the beginning, you had the magnetism and you had electricity. Magnetism and electricity together is what creates what y'all know as gravity. Gravity ain't nothing but magnetism and electricity. Trust me. Look it up. Do your research. You will find it out. You ain't never seen no gravitational force, but you've seen a magnetic force. You see that all the time. You go get two magnets and put them together, and you see them start shaking, start pushing and pulling against each other. You can see magnetic force all the time. You ain't never seen no gravitational force. Because the gravitational force only exists when the magnetic and electrical is working together. That's the divine. That's the male and the feminine. That's the masculine and the feminine together. It's a divine source. So we are electrical. And when we connect our electricity into her magnet, boom. That's what we consider the first act of sex. Cosmic sex. That cosmic sex resulted in the consciousness being born. Okay? So consciousness, okay, here we go. First, we got existence. So when you ask me who is God, existence could be God. The magnetic and feminine, the masculine and the feminine energy, the magnet and electrical forces, that could be considered God. or the birth of those two energies, which is consciousness, could be considered God. This is why the being said God is a earthly concept, because there is no God. There are the creative forces. There are all the forces that came together in tandem to create creation. So from cosmic sex, from the first act of cosmic sex, from when the female, the magnetic energy, she attracted the male energy, which was the electrical energy, and they got together, boom. That's your Big Bang. And out of that, consciousness was born. Consciousness, also known as the Patal, or as Yahweh. That's what y'all, that name sounds familiar, right? Yahweh. That name sounds familiar. Yahweh. That's a name you say in your breath. Every time you breathe, you say it. Yahweh. 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 So consciousness was the result of the symbiotic relationship between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Consciousness embodied pure love, compassion, intelligence, all the positive components of existence. Okay, so consciousness embodied all of the positive aspects of existence, right? Which went under pure love, compassion, intelligence, and so forth, right? Now, this is who some coaches refer to as God, right? Some coaches, you think this is where you think, because this is the force that manifested the first physical beings. Consciousness manifested the first physical beings. So this is who we would consider God, right? Yahweh, right? But above Yahweh is the energies that facilitated Yahweh. And then above that is the existence which those energies exist in. So it's hard to say who's who, right? As far as who's the existence itself for me, okay? Existence itself is God for me. This is why higher dimensional beings shy away from terms like God. They understand that it's a system. There are multiple forces of creation at play to create our universe and multiverse. Now, y'all do know that this world would cease to exist without the force of magnetism and electricity, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you understand that. You know that the world would stop working. That motherfucker wouldn't be spinning, turning, would nothing be happening. You remove magnetism and electricity and nothing. Everything dies. Because everything that's living around us is electric. Right? Why do they tell us to eat alkaline foods? Because it's electric. Ain't that right? Don't they tell us to eat alkaline? They tell us to eat alkaline foods because it's electric. Of course, we electric. You know, we pure energy, right? So everything that's living around us is electric. Okay. So these are important forces, godly forces. Magnetism and electricity together is what created the force that science calls gravity. So when we say God is not a man, this is what we mean, my people. This is what we mean. When we say God is not a man, this is exactly what we're trying to get y'all to understand. God is beyond man. God is an intelligent energy responsible for creation. We can't fathom why that energy does what it does. But if we travel the proper path of ascension, one day in our future life, we may be granted with that understanding. That's what y'all got to understand about life. You ain't going to know who God is and all that right now. I'm giving you a concept. I'm giving you a perspective of what God may be. But the validation that we want, man, that's way down the line. You got to focus on your mission. We be focused on the wrong shit. You got to focus on your mission. We all have a mission here in this life, on this earth. You serving a purpose in God's system. He has you here for a reason. Your job is to live. Your job is to gather data to observe. You're supposed to be challenging yourself to be the best version of yourself. And you're supposed to be experiencing life. You're going to have some ups and downs. You're going to have some bad moments. The bad moments is good for you because they're going to make you stronger. They're going to make you better, more resolved. Right? And if you really get to a high level, you're gonna appreciate your bad moments more than your good. I'm at my best when I'm in a struggle. When my back against the wall, that's when I do my best work. So I appreciate the bad times because I know it's training me. We all are training here. That's what Earth is. Earth is training grounds. You are here in basic training. That's what this system is. You don't have to fear it. Right? Because this, like I'm telling you right now, don't fear this shit. Understand that you here training. All of these obstacles are being put in front of you on purpose. So the next time you come up on an obstacle in your life, don't let it break you down. Recognize that they're trying to see what you are made of. Do not let it break you down. Embrace any obstacle and go through it head on. Don't be afraid of it. It's there for great purpose. This whole system is God's. God is more powerful than everything in it. Everything in it serves a purpose. In time, the purpose of our existence will be revealed. Until then, you keep living and learning. So now, let's get back to these primordial beginnings. Existence and the energies of existence that created the Kuttah, which is consciousness or Yahweh, which is the positive force of creation. Now, for every positive force in creation, there has to be a what? Let's talk balance. You can't talk God if you're not going to talk balance. For every positive force, there is a what? It's a negative force. So just like we got Yahweh, we got the consciousness, we got the positive force that is Yahweh, there's a negative force that exists. Here we go. Here we go. So just as consciousness was created from love, anti-consciousness was created from anger, hatred. This happened when a trauma caused the male electrical force to separate. So just as consciousness was created from love, anti-consciousness was created from anger. Y'all know who anti-consciousness is, right? We getting there. This happened when a trauma caused the male electrical force to separate from the feminine magnetic energy. It's a real love story, guys. They was in love. The male electrical force was in love with that magnetic woman. They loved each other and they was together. They were symbiotic, right? They got under them covers and she wrapped her legs around him. He wrapped his leg. They ain't want to get up from up under them covers. You know how it be when you under the covers with your boo? You know how it is when it's cold outside and y'all just snuggled up in the bed. You know what I mean? They was together. It was a symbiotic relationship. Perfect balance. The masculine and the feminine. That's perfect balance. Okay? But then something happened. That was a traumatic situation that caused the male electrical force to be separated from the feminine magnetic energy. When the male energy was separated from the feminine energy, it was distraught. Needing to reconnect, the male tried to manifest the feminine energy from pure thought and logic. Okay, so that's what men is. Okay, so men are pure thought and logic. We are not emotional. Where we get our emotional side from is from the duality. It's from the feminine side. So in order to be a divine man, you got to be of masculine and feminine energy. You can't just be pure masculine energy. If then you're gonna be destructive. Y'all understand that? Put a 1 in the chat if you understand that. To be a divine source, to be of divine existence, you must be of masculine and feminine energy together. Okay? When you are just masculine energy alone, you're going to be eventually going to be destructive. We need our mamas. Our mamas make us soft. We need our ladies. Our ladies calm us down. We need that love and that affection. That we get that from them. We learn that from y'all. You understand? That's what makes us the best men. You can't be a great father if you don't got that kind of love in you. You're going to be a terrible father if you only masculine energy. You need to be able to tell your children you love them. You need to be able to, be there for them when they need you. Be able to comfort them. So when the male energy, when the electrical energy was separated from the feminine energy, it tried to manifest the feminine energy from pure thought and logic. My boy said, I'm going to make me one. He said, I don't know where she at. I can't find her. And she was crazy about him. She was missing him. Okay? So he tried to manifest the feminine energy from pure thought and logic. And this was a terrible situation. The result of this was being devoid of love. Complete opposite of consciousness. So he ended up manifesting a being that was devoid of love. He manifested a being that was only thought and logic and devoid of love. This being was the complete opposite of consciousness. They say that this being is called the Ahriman or anti-consciousness. Okay? This being was called the Ahriman or anti-consciousness. Once the male manifested the dark energy, it left it in the void all alone. So let me tell you about this male energy. This nigga was a deadbeat daddy. Damn, nigga, we been deadbeat daddies from the beginning. So the male that manifested this energy, and then he like, damn, that ain't what I wanted. Just left it. And just left it, right? So this dark energy was left all alone in the void. And being by itself and not having no connection, not being able to connect, it created hatred and anger, which fueled its ambition to find its creator and destroy it. This being, who you know, is Lucifer. Let me say that again. This dark energy was left alone by itself. No connection to a motherly energy, no connection to a fatherly energy. So as a result of that, it created hatred and anger, which fueled its ambition to find its creator and destroy it. This being you know of is the energy you know of as Lucifer. Now, y'all need to know it's a difference between Lucifer and Satan. Okay? What do we always hear about Lucifer? Lucifer is the what? The light bearer. So Lucifer is an energy form. It's a being. It's a light being. Just like consciousness is a light being. But they're just opposites. They're just opposites. Because you got to have that balance. Got to have that duality. Just trying to paint the picture to y'all, the picture that they never painted before. Lucifer's mission has always been to topple the God source. Lucifer created the beings that would facilitate your idea of Satan. So what y'all gonna see is what y'all gonna learn is that Yahweh got the beings that he created, but Lucifer got beings that he created as well. We're getting closer and closer. Y'all see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to walk y'all up to this shit. We had to go all the way back to the primordial beginnings. Okay? When it was just, can't nobody go back that far. We had to go all the way back there to come all the way this far. So now we're getting to the point where now we're going to be talking about the creation of physical worlds and physical beings. Okay? So now we got the two creator sources. We got Yahweh and we got Lucifer. Yahweh is a divine consciousness, masculine and feminine energy intertwined. Lucifer is masculine energy devoid of the feminine balance. To be a divine man, you must have duality. You must be masculine and feminine. Yahweh was created from love. He manifested worlds from thought. Okay, I'm gonna talk to y'all about the different forms of creation. You got creation by procreation, creation by design, and creation by thought. Creation by thought is reserved for the higher dimensional beings, like a 12th dimensional being like Yahweh. Yahweh is a 12th dimensional being. That's the highest you can get on that scale. Beyond that is what? The energies that facilitated consciousness and existence. Yahweh created from love. He manifested worlds from thought. He used sound, light, and vibration to create the first physical beings. I'm going to say that one more time. Yahweh created from love. He manifested worlds from thought. He used sound, light, and vibration to create the first physical beings. Some of y'all may have saw this displayed in cymatics. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what cymatics is. Give me a 2 in the chat if you've ever seen the videos where they take the sound frequency and they play it under some material, and you can start seeing like planets forming. You can start seeing all types of beings formed. If you ever seen that video where they was displaying cymatics. So we know that everything is created through vibration, sound, and light. When the male sperm comes in contact with the female egg, there's a spark of light in the beginning before anything. Lucifer, the worlds that Yahweh created and the beings that Yahweh created, Lucifer sought out these worlds to corrupt Yahweh's creation. You got to remember, Lucifer on some fuck shit. He forever mad. So he sought out Yahweh's creation to corrupt it. That's his whole mission. The get back. They left me all alone. I ain't have no love. I hate my mama. I hate my daddy. I'm going to destroy everything that they done built. That's his whole goal. Now, we can't even imagine how long ago all of this took place. It's an unfathomable number. We don't know. We don't know how many years ago this was. Can't even imagine. Some number we can't even imagine. But can you imagine how much creation that Yahweh has created between then and now? Now wrap your mind around that. Whatever that number is from when this first began, wrap your mind around that time up until now. How much creation has Yahweh created between now and then? You ever looked at the known universe? Look at this. These are galaxies. These are galaxies. These are inside of galaxies. You know how many planetary bodies you got? You got over 400 million planetary bodies inside a galaxy. Over. You know how many galaxies are again? There are trillions of galaxies. You got trillions of galaxies that exist, and there's over 400 million planetary bodies per galaxy. But you done let these white folks make you think that you the only person down here on the earth. You done let these folks make you think that the earth is only 6,000 years old. And that it ain't no more life out. You know how foolish you got to be. Let me tell y'all something, how dumb you got to be to believe that. Watch this. Let me set up my new goal. Hold on. I never did set up my little new goal. Here we go. New goal up. So, you know how crazy you got to be to think that it ain't no more life out there? Appreciate it, Israel. We're going to make it clear. Imagine it like this. Let's look at the cosmos like this. Watch this. Let's say you live in California. This would be like saying that it ain't no other states outside of California. Not believing that there's other life out there in the cosmos, that's like thinking that California is the only state on earth. Imagine if you walked around with that mindset, how fucking dumb you would look. Oh, don't nothing exist beyond California. Don't nothing exist beyond California. California's the only state. You know, let me tell y'all something. There's uncontacted tribes in the jungles that's never been in contact with civilization. They may believe that their world, that their little island is the whole world. Now, I understand why they believe that. Why would somebody in the internet age, in the information age, ever think like that? Family, let me let y'all know something right now. If you love God, you ought to love the impossibility of the universe he created and the unfathomableness and the hugeness of it. You got to love all of that. See, my God, you can't put no limitations on the God I serve. You can't put no limitations. My God is unlimited. So if we think that the universe is much more larger than we can imagine, then that's what it is. So I'm here to tell y'all right now, listen up. There are many different beings out here in the universe. And all of it ain't our business. We ain't got to worry about everybody in the universe. But there are some particular entities that we need to know about. Because these particular entities are responsible for who we are today. And there's some more entities that want to destroy and enslave us. Okay? So this is what I'm walking you up to and telling you all this. I told you, in order to understand Earth's true story, you got to start out here. Particularly, you got to start in the beta light. In the beta light. Okay? So this is what they call the beta Lyrae system. This is the home of humanity. Y'all gonna learn that. Don't worry, the information coming. Humanity did not start on Earth. This is a fact. You have heard scientists say this. You've heard scientists say that humanity traveled to Earth. Okay? It didn't start on Earth. It traveled to Earth. Humanity comes from the Lyran star system. Started here in the Lyran star system. In this class, you're going to learn about the Lyrans. You're going to learn about the first humans that they created. You're going to learn that brown skin was even first in this story. The Vegans, the people of Vega, they was brown skin. So I had to walk you up from all of that primordial information to get up to this point. So now you know that Yahweh created beings, right? Now, we was talking about the time, how long ago Yahweh started this, and up until now, it's been a lot of time. It's been a long amount. It's been a lot of time, right? So check this out. There's a lot of different beings out there in existence. And they are older. They are far older than us. We new booties. We some of the new creation. The Most High is creating new creations every second. It's new creations, new worlds being created every second. Okay? So, we the latest version of some of these new creations. But before us, there were many. Okay? So you got to wrap your mind around the concept of us being the new booties on the block, and stop trying to see us as the most advanced beings and start seeing, no, we are the least advanced beings. The people that come from these places are severely more advanced than us. They are older than us. They're more advanced than us technically, spiritually. It's what happens with age. How many of y'all got little brothers and sisters that's 5 or 10 years younger than you, and you're more advanced than them because you're older than them? Right? These people older than us. They more advanced than us. They got more technology, more technological abilities than us. So when I tell you some of these people travel from one of these star systems over to our star system, now you can embrace that. Now that ain't so sci-fi. That ain't so Star Trekky that you can't accept that. Now you know that this is a very real possibility. But you can imagine how much creation that Yahweh has created between then and now. Unimaginable. Now remember, these beings are billions of years older than us. So they are far more advanced than us, spiritually and technically. So the idea of the Anunnaki traveling here and having genetic abilities shouldn't be so far-fetched when you look at it in the scale of history. Yahweh created worlds and beings, and he gave those beings the ability to create. That's how you get here today. Let me say that again. Let me run that back. Yahweh created worlds and beings, and he gave those beings the ability to create. That's how you get here today. Follow me. I need y'all to follow me on this part. God gave your mom and dad the ability to procreate. All of his beings have that ability, which means even if the creator steps away from his creation, which means even if the creator steps away, his creation will continue to create. Let me run that back one more time. God has created a system that allows his creation to create creation. So can't y'all see that his system is on automation, that God ain't got to be hands-on? Like y'all want God to be, hey man, call on God, strike this person down, do this. Y'all want God to be hands-on with everything. But God created a flawless system that creates creation. Excuse me. God created a flawless system that creates creation. And that creation creates creation. It's levels to everything. On our level of existence, we have the ability of procreation. Okay? Listen up. It's 3 forms of creation. There's 3 forms of creation that I know about, okay? On our level of existence, we have the ability of procreation, okay? But there are other levels of creation within this system. There's creation by design and creation by thought, okay? So humans, we hunch on each other, and we can procreate, we can bring forth a life. But when you are older, more advanced, over time, you develop the ability to create by design. Okay, this is what the Anunnaki did. This is what genetically creating someone, right? This is what the Anunnaki did. They created us by design. We create by procreation. They created by design. With time, we become more intelligent, more technological, and in that evolution, we learn and master genetics. The genetic mastery is what gave beings like the Anunnaki the ability to alter us. Now watch this. Guess what? Your government got the ability to create by design. Your government creating by design right now. Hell, you can get a designer baby right now. Didn't y'all know that? Put a 1 in the chat if you know that. You know that you can order a specific kind of baby. You can say, I want my baby to have green eyes. I want my baby to have red hair. They doing this shit right now. Your government making test tube babies and hybrid beings right now. They already have this ability. They've already ascended into this ability. Because, of course, they got relationships with the reptilians. So the reptilians teaching them. We're going to talk about the reptilians. So on our level, you have procreation. On a 4D level, when you're a 4-dimensional being, you more than likely will have we have it now. So I guess it's you can be taught on the third dimension to create by design, because we're doing it now. But more than likely, the four-dimensional beings, they have the ability to create by design. And then the higher levels, when you get up to like the 9 to 12 dimensions, when you evolve to the higher dimensions, 9 to 12, you develop the ability to create by thought. That's God level, okay? So when you ascend to the highest, when you become a ninth dimensional being, between 9 and 12, you will have the ability to create by thought. To just create a world just by visualizing it. This is what manifestation is about manifesting. All of these are real abilities, but we just need to train ourselves. We need to hone ourselves. To really be great at manifesting stuff, you got to be a clean soul. You got to be a clean soul, a clean spirit. So creating by thought, that's the third level of creation. Yeah, of course. Yeah, right. So this is a theory, like I say, it's based on this information from this clairvoyant about this system of God. Next, we can discuss the many different beings that populate the universe. Okay? Because these beings are facilitated in our existence on Earth. So what I want y'all to know is this. This is what I want y'all to know. It's a lot of creation out there. There's a lot of different type of beings out there. Humans are not the pinnacle of existence. There are all types of beings out here in this world. Guys, wrap your mind around it. It's some horse-headed people. It's some lion-headed people. It's a fish race. I'm trying to tell you. All right. Like it's way more than what you think. It's a reptilian group. There's a reptilian group. Right? So some of these beings you about to start learning about, because they are responsible for this story. In order to know the Anunnaki, you need to know the parent race to the Anunnaki. Everybody got a parent race. Because like I told y'all, God's system is on automation. Right? So God created the earth and seeded the earth. And when the earth was seeded, all of these places that God seed, they go through natural evolution. That's God's process. Everything evolves naturally. Just like we be thinking about time, we be like, oh, 1.5 million years, that's a long time, but that ain't no time to God. If God is growing the planet, 2 million years ain't shit to God. So we were going through natural evolution when one of God's creation interrupted that natural evolution. And in that interruption is where we get the story of us and the Anunnaki. That's where the Anunnaki come in. They interrupted us on our natural path of evolution. They interrupted that. Okay, so I talked to y'all yesterday. I told y'all that evolution is God's process. Everything we do in life is about evolution. When you are embryo, you evolve into a fetus. Then you evolve into a newborn, right? And you continue to evolve into a child, into an adolescent, into a teen, into an adult. That is all evolution. When you plant a seed into the ground, it's a seed at first. Then it evolves into a small plant. Then it evolves into a tree. I don't know why folks talk about evolution ain't real. You a fucking idiot if you say that. Evolution ain't real. Nigga, evolution is all around you. The world is evolving. Look at the world. The world is evolving. So never say evolution don't exist. And don't say what we don't come from, because you can't say that. If God seeded us, if God uses the animal kingdom to seed whatever we are today, then that's the process. You can't get mad at that. Oh man, we don't come from no, hey brother, you don't know what we came from. It ain't up for you to have an issue with that. Whatever it is, that's what our story is. Now, for all of these people that's talking about where we came from, where they proof at? Where they proof at? They'll tell you all day, oh man, yeah, we just came down in the heavens. We was fully formed black people and we popped up on the earth and we had all this power. Man, if that's the case, how the hell did we lose it? How the hell did we lose it, huh? What's that story? Talk to me. You talk about the pyramids. I'm steady telling y'all that we didn't build the pyramids. We worked on the pyramids. Somebody else designed the pyramids. You need to understand the difference. There's an architect that designed the pyramids, and then there's the actual beings that pushed blocks into place. We pushed blocks into place. We didn't design the damn thing. That thing is otherworldly. It is so otherworldly that it is aligned with this very star system that we call Orion. So let me ask y'all something. Why the fuck would we build the most complex structure in humanity's history and align it to a star system that we never been to? Take some time. Take some time to think about that. Why would humans, bro, let me tell y'all something. When we build something, when we build a statue, we build a statue to pay homage to something that's close to us, something that we have a relative connection to. Did y'all hear me? Do y'all agree with that? When we build a statue, we build it to pay homage to something we have a relative connection to, okay? Michael Jordan got a statue because we love Michael Jordan. He was the greatest basketball player of all time. Kobe got a statue. Anytime we've ever built a statue, it's somebody we have a relative connection to. Somebody please help me understand what's the relative connection that Africans had to Orion. Somebody tell me right now. Because if you don't, you know what you got to say? You got to say, oh, you know, the Africans went to Orion. They went to Orion. They was there. Because ain't no other reason to structure these complex structures in alignment with those three stars unless that was your home and you was paying homage. So you want to know why the pyramids are what they are? Because the people that designed the pyramids, they were from here. So they built them pyramids to pay homage to their home. This is why Giza is aligned to Orion. That is their home. Wait till you find out the purpose of the pyramid structure. Even the pyramid itself is paying homage to their home. The part of the cosmos they are from is called the summer triangle. Once you see it, you're going to understand why they build pyramids. How many of y'all know about the Dogon tribe? How many of y'all know about the Dogon? Put a 1 in the chat if you ever heard of the Dogon tribe of Mali. So y'all know the history of the Dogon. What is it? Now look at them primitive people. These primitive culture. They don't use technology. They don't do none of that. But these primitive people had knowledge of the Sirian star system that NASA didn't even have. They taught NASA about Sirius B. They taught NASA about, and you know what else? You know what else? They dropped the real big bombshell ain't Sirius B. They taught NASA about Sirius C. A lot of people don't know about Sirius C. Sirius C is another star in that system. It's A, B is Sirius A, that's a star. Sirius B, that's a blue dwarf. Sirius C, it's a small red dwarf. Guess what? That's where Nibiru comes from. Nibiru orbits Sirius C. Let me show y'all right quick. I'm going to give y'all All this. So this is the Syrian star system right here. Okay? Now, y'all gonna learn constellation science being in this class with me, because you need to learn constellation science. Astrology is very important. The Anunnaki is the ones who introduced us to astrology and constellation science. Constellation science is basically the plotting of celestial bodies. So anytime you plot a celestial body and it makes a shape of a person, or thing, or animal, that's what we call a constellation. Okay? So this is where the Anunnaki are from. This is the Syrian star system. This is Sirius A. This is Sirius B. Up above would be Sirius C. But this is just showing you this part of it, okay? Let me show y'all something. Y'all see this triangle, right? This is where they're from. Altair, Deneb, Vega. There's Vega. Okay. This is called the Summer Triangle. This is why they build pyramid shapes. The pyramids they build pay homage to the section of the cosmos that they come from. They come from the Summer Triangle, so they build three-dimensional triangles to pay homage to where they are from. It's the Summer Triangle. Big sun, small sun. This is the origin of humanity right here, Vega. School ain't never taught y'all that. Now you know. You just learned today why they chose pyramid. Why not a square? We build buildings, we build them in squares. Why not circles? Why triangles? Well, there's many reasons. It's other reasons too, but this is one of the reasons. To pay homage to from whence they come from. Wait till I show y'all where the Christian cross come from. Y'all thought the Christian cross was just some religious symbol. Here you go. Y'all see it. It's called the Northern Cross. There go Vega again, guys. Hold on. Didn't I just show y'all the Summer Triangle, right? And I showed y'all Altair, Vega. Here we go again. Now the Northern Cross. There's Vega. This is still the same section. This is still the same section of the sky that they come from. Check this out. So you thought that the Christian cross was a religious. No, that's from where they from. So watch this. I can show you where the Christian cross comes from. I can show you where the Ankh comes from. I can show you where the Star of David comes from. You're going to learn all this shit. I swear to God, that's what this course is about. We're going to show you, man, this is the real red pill. You finna get it for real, guys. Here you go, the Northern Cross. This is where your Christian cross comes from. It is not a religious symbol. It is just simply symbolic of where they come from in the sky. This is the Northern Cross. Let me show y'all what a just dropping some seeds right now. So what happens, I told y'all in constellation science, you have to plot points in the constellation, okay? So, Sirius C, this would be Sirius C right here, right? You see this middle point, the crossing section? This is where the Anunnaki come from. They say they come from the crossing. They come from the Great Crossing. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever heard that. The Anunnaki say they come from the Great Crossing. Okay, so right here in the middle would be Sirius C. Now, just outside of Sirius C is a planet, right? The planet that we call Nibiru. Watch this. The planet we call Nibiru. It's just outside of Sirius C. Nibiru used to make an orbit around its star. Keep in mind, that's what we do, right? As a planet, we revolve around our star. Earth revolves around the sun. Every planet has a star it revolves around, okay? So this is the star system, Sirius C. Just outside of that would be the planet Nibiru. Nibiru used to have this orbit. So if you plot the orbit of Nibiru around the Northern Cross, you get the Ankh. This is where the Ankh comes from. It's representation of the orbit, the old orbit of Nibiru. Okay? But unfortunately, Sirius C went supernova and it blew Nibiru out of its orbit. Okay? So when Sirius C went supernova and kicked Nibiru out of its orbit, it put Nibiru on this long elliptical orbit, this crazy orbit that brought it down into our part of our solar system. So if you've ever heard about Nibiru coming around every 3,600 years, that's how. That's why. That's why. Because it was blown out of its orbit into this long elliptical orbit that brings it down into our world every 3,600 years. And every time that motherfucker come around, all hell breaks loose. Y'all know I'm trying to give it to you, man, because they're not going to give y'all this, guys. That's what this about, my boy. That's what this about. They not going to give y'all this game. They ain't going to give it to you in no college. They ain't going to give it to you in no school. They not going to give it to you. Even the most intelligent people in your society don't have this knowledge because they have not pursued this knowledge. You have to first pursue this knowledge and you have to ask for it. Now, let me be real. Can I be real with y'all? I know that this information was channeled through me. Because I know I'm smart, but I ain't this smart. At this point, a lot of this shit is being channeled through me. Okay? So I'm just trying to bring it to y'all the way they bringing it to me. Because it's time for y'all to know. This is where your Star David comes from. Same system. Here's the summer triangle. When you plot Sirius A, you take Sirius A and you plot that to Sirius B, and then you go up to Sirius C, you get another triangle. A triangle within a triangle, as above, so below. Can y'all see the Star David now? This is Enlil's Signia. This is where they're from. When you plot Sirius A up to Sirius C, down to Sirius B, you get another triangle within the summer triangle that is as above, so below. That's the Star David, the Hebrew Star David. There you go, right there. It ain't the Star David. It's Anunnaki symbology. David was a Hebrew. This insignia was in place long before David was born, so it can't be the Star David. Y'all understand that? They was represented by this long before David existed. When you're reading in the Bible, in Genesis, right? You're reading Genesis, right? In Genesis, it clearly says, let us make man in our image. And people be trying to dance around that all day long. Who is us and who is our? Let us, the Anunnaki Dream Team, baby, Inky, Ninma, Ningazita, aka Thoth. Let us make man in our image. This is your us and your our. People like, why would they say us? And then folk coming like, oh no, that's God. That's the God and the Holy Ghost and the Spirit. Boy, that sounds dumb as hell. The Holy Ghost and the Spirit down here doing genetic work. Stop it. Stop it. This is the tree of life. Showing your DNA, showing your genetics, showing your genetic genome. They showing you how they genetically altered man to create what he is today. Like I was trying to tell y'all, there go Sirius B, here go Sirius C. There go Nibiru. See, this is Sirius C, and you see this little white dot right there? That's Nibiru in its orbit around Sirius C. Or at least the orbit it had before. So like I say, at the end of the day, guys, all of this information is to make it easier to embrace this cosmic story, because the human story is attached to the cosmic story. So if you ain't ready to hear about all of the shit that took place out there that facilitated Earth being here, because wait till you find out what Earth really is. Earth really is more theirs than it is ours, guys. We live here, but it belongs to them. Earth is basically a library for all of their knowledge. They've been hiding and they've been putting all of their knowledge on the earth. The earth is a bank for these entities. They observing us. They keeping their information here. All of that. So now we done got through that part of it. You know, I wanted to kind of give y'all a perspective on what God might be, right? So people not always trying to make God human. Okay, so let me say this: when you lose a loved one, don't be so quick to think that this is God punishing you. Everything has to happen. Nobody is here forever. As much as we want our people to be here forever, nobody is here forever. The reason why death hurts us so bad is because we haven't been taught how to understand death. Death is not an ending. It's a continuation. It's a transition. Life is not a beginning. It's a continuation. Death is a transition. So we've been taught, we look at death like it's an ending. Like we ain't gonna never see them people again. You're gonna absolutely see them people again. Them people that you lost, that you love, when it's time for you to end your mission here, you are going to have those people over and over again. I lost my brother a couple years ago. I talk to him in spirit every day. I don't hurt no more because I know I'm going to have them again. I enjoyed them while I had them. I know I'm going to have them again in another life. There'll be other lives where we cross paths. I want y'all to understand that we being trained. I don't want y'all taking everything so personal in this life. Understand it to be an experience. Make some mistakes. You're going to do something wrong sometime. Don't beat yourself up. I know church done told you you're going to hell for every damn thing. You smoked weed, you're going to hell. You drink, you're going to hell. Now these niggas out here talking about you ate pork, you're going to hell. Stop it. Stop it. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. We are in training. Okay? So enjoy the experience. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your loved ones. Try to be the best version of yourself. Challenge yourself to do something bigger and something better. I am challenging myself right now. I'm trying to honor my God by teaching his children, his creation. I'm trying to help as much as I can. That's what I'm dedicating my life to. Find something positive to dedicate your life to in honor of the Creator, of the Most High. Now that's that part of it, okay? Now that don't mean that we don't have to combat these evil forces out here. Just because we in a simulation don't mean we ain't supposed to kick some ass, okay? These evil entities, these negative entities, they exist and they real. And we need to be prepared to fight against what they're planning to bring to us. Okay? So, like I say, I want y'all to have a better understanding of this world that we live in. We are not alone. We are not the only existence in the universe. There are much more older, much more advanced beings than us. And these much more advanced beings had a role in what we are today. Okay? So when we get back in class, we're going to talk about some of these beings. Okay? Now, there's two groups that we need to focus on. There's the Lyrans. Let me show you the Lyrans. These are lion-headed people. Okay? Now, they're going to look weird to us, but they are humanity's parent race. They had the ability to create by design. All right, so these Lyrans, these are lion-headed beings. Appreciate it, Sunset Lady. Appreciate you, mama. Appreciate all y'all. Shout out to all my gifters, man. Shout out to everybody that's showing some love to the family. So these Lyrans are lion-headed beings, guys, okay? Now you got to wrap your mind around it this time. I'm finna make some correlations that's going to make some sense to you. So I told you they come from the system of Lyra. They are called Lyrans. Now ask yourself something. Ain't it a coincidence that they are called Lyrans and on Earth we have animals in Africa that we called lions? Don't you see some kind of symbiotic connection? The Lyrans, and on Earth we have lions, right? Now watch this. The Lyrans are the parent race to the Anunnaki. Okay? So some of the Anunnaki are half Lyran, right? The Anunnaki settled in the landmass we call Africa today. Y'all think it's a coincidence that we only find lions in Africa? Y'all don't think that might be a coincidence? We only find lions in Africa. And that's where the Anunnaki settled. So maybe they brought some lion, some pet lions down here with them. It's a reason. But these lions are very spiritual beings. These are sixth, seventh dimensional beings. That's how far they got in their advancement. So this gave them a lot of abilities. The ability to create. They gave them a lot of the abilities to create from design. Okay? And the design that they decided to create was us. Now, guess what they say about us? They say we are the culmination of all the best genetic sequences throughout the cosmos. So basically, they took the best of the best. They took pieces from all of the best beings, and they used that to make what we call humanity today. Okay? So the Lyrians are the parent race of humanity. The Lyrians were of love, compassion. They believed in the law of one. Okay? They believed in love and affection and compassion. All right? Now, on the flip side, there are some others that we got to know about. There's another parent race. Some bird-headed beings. Okay? These are the carrions, the bird-head beings. Okay? Very spiritually advanced, very old. We're going to talk all about this tomorrow. It's going to be a really good class. It's going to get better and better. So the Carians and the Lyrians. The Lyrians are responsible for humanity. The Carians are responsible for the reptilian races. This is who created the reptilians. The dirty, angry, dog-ass reptilians. Guys, wait till y'all hear this story. Wait till y'all hear this story. It's a doozy. It's a doozy. So these Carians created the reptilians and then abandoned them. And then the reptilians developed that same mindset that Lucifer developed. Right? I'm skipping some parts, but basically the way the story goes is the Carians created the reptilians in Orion and left them. Lucifer, the Ahriman, found the reptilian eggs and he took them to Draco, what they call Alpha Draco, Alpha Draconis. He took them to the Alpha Draconis star system, and that is where he raised them. That's how we get the story of the reptilians being from Draco. The Ahriman took them to the Alpha Draconis star system, and he raised them. And he raised them on hatred and told them that they should hate their parent race for leaving them. He gave them the divine right to conquer and subjugate. So the Lyrians are all about, if they travel to another world, they're going to live in peace and harmony with whoever owns that world. The reptilians say if they come to your world, they're going to take that bitch over and put you in slavery. So tomorrow you're going to get to see who related. Watch this. This is what we're going to do. Tomorrow, you finna get to see who's related to the Lyrians and who's related to the reptilians. I'm talking about amongst races. You're going to see. Amongst our Earth races, when you hear the information, it's going to tell you who's related to the reptilians and who's related. Remember, the Lyrians is peace, love, right? Acceptance, harmony. That's us. We always showing love. We always, you know, bringing everybody in. That's our main problem is we always so welcoming, so helpful to motherfuckers. Now, the reptilians all about hatred, anger, racism, division, subjugation. Does it sound familiar? If you had to assign a people to the reptilian energy, what people would you say represents hatred, anger, racism, division? Tomorrow. All right. So now we finna make this thing. It's finna really good, man. I hope y'all having a good time. I know it's a lot of talking, guys, but that's what we do. This is how we learn, okay? So I hope y'all taking notes. I hope y'all are understanding. Like I say, that first day, I wanted to show y'all the inconsistencies in the Bible, the biblical story. I wanted to show y'all the inconsistency in the scientific story. So, like I say, if you wasn't present for the first class, I was able to show everybody how evolution is missing a piece. And so from that missing piece is this Anunnaki story. Okay. And I also wanted to show y'all biblically that the biblical story don't add up, right? They telling us that everybody was white, but we know that this is not true, right? Because 2 white people can't create a black person. But we know that 2 black people can create a white person. Put a 1 in the chat if you know that and you agree with that, right? We know that 2 black people can create a white, 2 white can create a black. Okay, so we know that the biblical story they gave us is full of lies. We can't trust that. If we can't trust the biblical story and the scientific story is missing pieces, then what story exists that can give us the answers that we need? That's the Anunnaki story, and that's what you're going to get with your brother, Chief Kuttah. All right? I hope everybody had a good time, man. I hope everybody had a good time. We finna vibe this thing on out the way we know how to do. And I'm gonna go get myself ready for tomorrow's class. What is going on? Shout out to everybody that liked the live. Man, we gotta hit them likes up, baby. Yesterday, we had 100,000 likes. But shout out to everybody that gifted the live, that showed some love. Like I telling y'all, all the people that's in here that's not a part of the course, if you want to join the course, you need to hit us up. You need to message me. I'll send you the information for you to do so because we're not going to be allowing everybody to chill in here every day. Right? Today, it was important to do this because I wanted to make sure we get comfortable with the new people that's in class, so we kind of see the names and things of that nature. But yeah, man, if y'all want to join the course, man, hit me up, okay? But if you got any value from today's course, all right? So shout out to anybody that's hanging around with us. If you received any value in today's course and you want to show some love to the family, maybe you don't use the gifting system. Maybe that, because some people tell me they don't use the gifting system. But if you want to show some love to the family, you can hit us up at $UnionMailFam1212, okay?